Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. Creating content literally saved my life. Literally. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I worked a 9 to 5 for 6 years. I am 33 years old. And I got that 9 to 5. This is actually my first, like, 9 to 5 where I was making air quotes good money, decent money. Have no kids. So it was perfect. I got that job right out of college, like 6 months out of college. And it was towards my degree. And I just thought I had arrived. I was living this American dream. My family was proud of me. I got this job before most of my peers got their job. Just, according to Facebook, right? I see people talking about it's hard to find a job. They're working these dead end jobs. Like, I really just felt like I was on top of the world. Like, I had arrived. And, it was in a lab. And I didn't really do too much lab stuff in college. My degree was biology. We had a few labs, like anatomy lab, chemistry lab, but most of my day was not in a lab in college. So I didn't even really know what it would be like to work 8 hours a day every single day in a lab. I had went to school to be a doctor, but I didn't have the grades and I realized I don't really like school. So that's kind of how I ended up there, right? And so I just, but I was just proud of the fact that I got this job making 60,000 a year. It's in this degree. I'm 23 years old. Like, I'm here, right? And I quickly learned that I did not like being in a lab all day, every day. It was not fun. And I didn't like the environment. I didn't, my I got along with coworkers for the most part. It was really management. They didn't like me and I didn't like them. So it was an even exchange. I was the youngest one there. It was a very small department, a total of 15 of us every single day. So you couldn't really get out of someone's way. Like, it was very, very small. And I hated it. I was miserable. For 6 years, I was doing it. And some may ask, well, why didn't I get another job? Because that was the only job I could find making what I make. And anything else, I would have to take a pay cut. And I had already created this lifestyle for myself making this amount of money. And then they had overtime. The overtime was relatively easy. So I was making well over 60,000, but 60,000 was around the base. So that's why I just kind of thugged it out. And I didn't want to disappoint anybody. I was so concerned about what people would think and, what my family think, what my friends think, what would I think, right? But it was really more about what everyone else would think. I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to explain to them, yeah, I quit this job making this amount so I could go work at Target because Target just isn't that stressful. I wasn't thinking like that. Today, yeah, I would have did it, right? Back then, no. I cared too much about what people thought. And, it got to a point where I was just miserable, dealing with it for 6 years. I finally grew a pair and quit on a whim. It was during COVID. Everything was aligning. And I went into detail on this in another video about like my journey to quitting my 9 to 5, but that's just like a brief synopsis for those of you guys who are new to the channel. So, anyways, I quit to do OnlyFans. And let's just say that everybody and their mother had something to say about Jasmine doing OnlyFans. And I know that when you hear the word OnlyFans, your minds may go wild, right? Rightfully so. But what I will say is I am a solo creator, and I will leave it at that. So, anyways, everyone has something to say. I went from, this quote unquote prestigious job. And again, I personally feel like it was prestigious, but these are just the thoughts that were going through my mind back then. Okay, this was 4 years ago. And so, it was during COVID. People started to find out that I was doing OnlyFans, right? I had deleted everybody off of my Instagram because I turned that into like an OnlyFans funnel. And family found out. It was just a very dark place for me because everybody had something negative to say about me doing OnlyFans. But for the first time in my life, I was finally doing something that I wanted to do. And for the first time in my life, I learned how to stop caring what people thought about me. It was a very dark journey to get to that point. Don't get me wrong. I didn't just wake up overnight and just said, fuck it. No, it took a lot of work and a lot of counseling and a lot of healing. But I finally got to a point where I no longer cared what people thought about me. I have been called a whore, a prostitute, a slut. I don't respect myself. Just all the things. All of the negative things. Nobody Nobody that I know looked at it as, well, we know Jasmine was miserable at her 9 to 5, and if this is what's going to make her happy, then I'm happy for her. Nobody that I knew could say that to me. Nobody. No one could say, if you like it, I love it. Nobody. Okay, so I really felt by myself. And, I'm not going to put religion into it or anything, but what I will say is I think that the universe forced me to create content that was the most frowned upon for whatever reason. I don't think it should matter what kind of content you create. Okay, do you, boo, and do it with a smile on your face. But the universe started me with creating the content that most people would frown to build my self-esteem, to learn how to truly not care. Because now I can make content that I actually truly like to make, which is weight loss and fitness. I have a whole other YouTube channel. Feel free to check that out. About weight loss and fitness and inspiration and motivation, and do it effortlessly because I truly don't care what people think. Because I already went through that phase when I was doing what some would consider promiscuous content, right? And I say all of this to say content creation changed my life because it allowed me to no longer work a 9 to 5. Okay. It allowed me to be financially free. It allowed me to tap into myself. I spent a lot of time by myself. Everyone's at work. Jasmine's at home, right? I learned so much about myself, and I had the freedom to learn about myself because I no longer had friends and people in my ear telling me what they think. It My life finally became about what Jasmine thinks, what Jasmine wants to do, what is best for Jasmine, okay? And through doing OnlyFans content, I started to figure out what kind of content I genuinely want to make. And I started losing weight 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I just went on a full self-development journey. And I didn't really set out to lose weight. I set out to be happy. And I told you guys I went to counseling and started to develop self-love, self-respect, self-care. And the weight loss just kind of followed. Once I started to love myself and look at myself in a higher light, I started to take better care of myself. I started to eat right. I hired a personal trainer and I lost over 100 pounds naturally, okay? And through that, through that weight loss and fitness journey, I learned how much I love working out. And I started documenting my journey. And I didn't realize when I started doing it, I didn't realize that I would be motivating people. I was just doing it for me. It was just something that I wanted to do for me. And more people started to tap in and started to comment and let me know that I motivated them to get a gym membership. I motivated them to eat more plant-based meals. I'm vegan, by the way. I've been vegan for 2 years. I motivated them to stop making excuses. And getting all of this positive feedback, it just showed me like I'm finally doing what I want to do. But I built the courage to get to this point through doing OnlyFans content because I'm doing what so many people are against, and I'm still able to hold my head up high, right? And so now doing this type of content is easy. If I can do that, I can do this, right? And it has changed my life. You guys, I have truly gone and I'm still undergoing a self-development journey. And I say all of this to you guys because we all have a story to tell. We all have experienced life, okay? We have all had our ups and our downs. We all have different passions. We all are special, and we all should share our story. Anytime someone comes up to me in the gym, they see the camera and the microphone, and I record in the gym every single day. People will come up to me and say, oh, what do you do? And I'll tell them, I'm on YouTube, da 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 da. And they're like, yeah, I got a camera, or I started recording some of my stuff. And I'm like, you should post it, post it, post it. Like, I get so excited when people tell me about how they want to start creating content. Like, I'm just like rooting for them. Like, you can do it, you can do it, because you really can do it. You really can do it. And for those of you guys who want to create content, but you're afraid, don't be. Do not be afraid. You can do this. You can do this. Do what you would do every day, whether you were recording or not. That has made it so much easier. See, OnlyFans, that was something that I had to plan into my day, right? It was something like, okay, I gotta do OnlyFans content. But when it came to making content for weight loss and for fitness, it was effortless because I was gonna be on a weight loss and fitness journey whether I recorded it or not. I'm able to record myself going to the gym every day because I was gonna go to the gym every day whether I recorded it or not. Because I really learned how much I love the gym. I love weightlifting, you guys. I love weightlifting. I love it, I love it, I love it. I do it every single day. But I was gonna do it regardless of if I was recording or not. So don't overthink creating content. Don't, well, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. No, you don't. No, you don't. Do what you were gonna do, whether you were recording it or not. And you will be amazed at how many people can resonate with you just off of you just being you. And something else is, remember that you have to be consistent. Stop, that's why I tell you, stop overthinking it, because it's so much harder to be consistent and show up every single day when every single day you're overthinking it. And another reason why I'm able to show up every single day and make content is because I've built up so much self-confidence that I no longer care what people think. And if you are going to be a content creator, if you're really ready to do this, you have got to stop caring what people think. And you have to understand that the people closest to you, not always, but most of the time, are not going to be your biggest supporters because they can't fathom the fact that they know you, they are so close to you, but yet they see everybody else giving you all this attention and they see you doing something every single day that they wish they had the balls to do. So if you don't get that support from your family or your friends or whoever, don't stop. Because 9 times out of 10, your biggest supporters are going to be from people who you don't even know. I don't know anyone in my personal life who really celebrated me and, the success that I've been able to achieve through creating content until I got to a certain point. No one was celebrating and clapping their hands for me on the journey. It wasn't until I reached whatever status that they want to consider where it was like, oh my gosh, you're doing it. I'm so proud of you. Where were you at 2 and 3 years ago? Oh, you weren't proud of me then, but you're proud of me today. Do you feel what I'm saying? But I don't allow that to stop me, and you shouldn't allow it to stop you either. Just remember this, you have a story to tell, okay? You have gone through a lot. And there are so many people who have gone through the same or similar things that you are going through who need to hear your story so that they can get through it. Okay? So create that content, upload, post, stop overthinking it. You can do this. Content creation has saved my life. I am in such a better space than I was before I started making content 4 years ago. Again, it has allowed me to own my own 24 hours. It's my full-time thing. I work for myself. I live a pretty decent life, and I want to see more people do it, and I'm able to do it every single day because I'm creating the content that I truly want to create. Okay? You got this! I'll see you later. Bye.